Hello everyone. Today in this video, we are going to study about the paired t-test. When to use, how to use, we are going to see in this particular video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly do that. We'll quickly move on to the sum, how to do this. So before that, only one point you have to remember here. First point, see this paired t-test is used whenever we want to compare something, right? So there are two samples. For example, A is there, B is there. A is taken before something and B is taken after something. See, for example, before some test, after some test. So whenever a situation comes like this, we are using paired t-test to compare the means between the two samples, A and B. So now, what is the paired t-test here? See, when we are interested in the difference between two variables, okay, for the same subject. So you have to note down here, it should be a same subject. We'll be using a paired t-test. Okay, so now what will be the formula here? T is equal to, obviously, this is T within this modulus. See, whatever the value which comes negative, we are taking it as the positive value. So modulus of T is equal to D bar divided by S divided by root of n here. So I'm going to just say, what is this D bar here? Okay, D bar is nothing but the average of the differences. So for example, I'm having two values, X and Y. I'm going to find out X minus Y. I treat this as D, and for this D column, I am going to find out the average. Okay, that is what is this D bar is about, just like an X bar. So what is the next one here? So you have to remember what is called the standard deviation formula. Usually standard deviation formula, direct formula, we have used as X minus X bar the whole square, the sigma for that divided by n minus 1. Here, instead of X, I am having the difference. Okay, difference and the X bar is difference, the average of the difference. So D minus D bar divided by n minus 1, I'm going to calculate this. You have to remember that is my S. Okay, so you can use any other formula for standard deviation. We have done it already, so many methods. So whichever is easy for you, you have to adopt it. Okay, so this is for the standard deviation. Now, what are all these things I'm going to tell you? D is the difference between the paired values. Okay, now X and Y values are given. I'm going to subtract and find out the value of D here. Okay, now what is this D bar? D bar is average of the differences, right? Now, what is S? Standard deviation of the difference of the column, which is termed as D here. Okay. Now n is the number of paired observation. So based on this, we will be doing only one sum here so that you will understand what is this paired t-test. So what we can do is, we are going for a small example here, an IQ test for administered to 5 persons before and after. You have to note down this before and after. They were trained. Okay. The results are given below. Test whether at 1% level of significance. Please note the alpha value is given here. Okay, so 1% level of significance. If it is not given, you are going to take it as 5% level of significance. That you have to note it here. Okay, now 1% level of significance, there is any change in IQ after the training program. What is this sum is about? Some students are there. Okay, so 5 students are there. I'm going to train them, giving them some special coaching. So after this, I'm finding out the IQ of them. So first I'll measure the IQ. So before, then I'm giving training, then I am measuring the IQ, that is after. So we are going to find out that training is effective or not. So as usual, we are going to just find out, or we are going to state the hypothesis here. So what is my hypothesis? Mean score before training and after training are the same. I can do like this. Otherwise, I will say mu X is equal to mu Y. Otherwise, I'll say there is no difference. Okay, in the mean. Otherwise, I'll say the program or the training is not effective. So whichever is feasible for you, that type you can frame the null hypothesis. Then once null hypothesis is framed, I am going to have the alternate hypothesis here. See, mean score before training and after training are not the same. So say I can symbolically write H1 mu x not equal to mu of y. So I can write this as HA also, nothing wrong in that. Okay, so now mu x not equal to mu y. So this is my hypothesis. Now, what is my alpha? Nothing is given. I'm going to take it as 0.05. Here it is 1% is given. So I'll take it as alpha is equal to 0.01. I'm not taking 0.05. So that also I'm going to write it here. So alpha is equal to level of significance 0.01. I'm going to write it. Then how to calculate this? First, note down these values. These values, I'll take this as the X column. I'll take this as Y's column, and I'm going to tabulate it in the next one. Okay, so now how to do this? X column and Y column, I'm writing what are all the values. I have got it here. Okay, so now what else I'll do here? Now I'm going to calculate the difference. How the difference is calculated? What is my X here? It is 110 minus 120, this one, and it is here 120 minus 118, and this is 123 minus 125, and then 132 minus 136, and this will be 125 minus 120. So we'll quickly calculate this. How? So 110, 120, my difference comes 10. So 120, 118, difference comes 2 here. 123 minus 125, the difference comes minus 2. 132, 136, the difference comes minus 4. 125, 120, the difference comes 4. Now, I'm going to calculate the D bar here. So what is this D bar? D bar is the average of this column. I'm going to find it out. So I'm going to total this column. What is the value here? 4 get cancels, 2 get cancels. I'm getting minus 10 as the total. So I have totaled it. So I'm going to find out the D bar here. So what is D bar? Sigma D divided by N. Sigma D is minus 10. I got it already. So divided by 5, that gives you minus 2. Now I'm going to fill up this column. What is my D? So I'm going to write it here. You just see. So it is D minus D bar. What is my D? D is minus 10. I'll write. Minus is there. Then D bar is minus 2. So what I'm going to write it as minus 10, minus into minus plus 2. So therefore it is minus 8. That is what I'm going to write it here. Okay, so now I'm going to write it minus 8. Now I'm going to calculate for this. It is 2 minus of minus 2. This is the minus 2 here. So it is 2 plus 2. That gives you 4 here. That's what I'm going to write it here as the 4. Okay. Now I'm going to calculate for this now. Minus 2 here, minus of minus 2 here. So minus 2, minus into minus plus 2, that is equal to 0. That's what I'm going to write it in this here. Okay, 0. Now for this minus 4, I'm calculating minus 4, minus of minus 2. Where from this minus 2 is coming? From here. Okay, now what is this? This is D. What is this? This is D bar. Okay, you have to be careful while doing this. Okay, minus 4 as it is, minus into minus plus 2, which gives you minus 2 is my answer here. I'm going to write it here, minus 2. Similarly, I'm doing it for 4. Okay, this 4, I'm going to do it. 4 minus of minus 2, which gives you 4 minus into minus plus 2. That will give you 6 here. Okay. So now after writing this, I'm going to square this and write it. Square and write here 8 8s are 64. Now 4 4s are 16. Square it. Okay. Now this 0 0. Now 2 square is 2 2s are 4. Now 6 square is equal to 36. That's what I'm going to write it here. Just see 8 8s are 64. Finished. 4 4s are 16. Finished. 0 square is 0. 2 square is 4. 6 square is 36. Once it is completed, I'm going to add this column. That is what is the formula. So I'm going to add this column. I'm getting 120. So this 120 is written as sigma D minus D bar the whole square equal to 120. So what is my formula here for the standard deviation here? Standard deviation I'm calculating D minus D bar. I'm going to write 120 in the numerator. Okay. So now 120 I have written. So my N is 4. Okay. Now this, I'm sorry, N is equal to 5. N minus 1 is equal to 4. This is what I'm going to write here. So it is 120 divided by 4. That gives you 30. So square root of 30, which gives you 5.48. So I have calculated all the values here. Then I'm going to substitute in the formula. That is very simple now. I want to substitute in the formula. These are all the calculations. So T is equal to D bar by S root of N. So here D bar is -2, already I've calculated. Now this S is equal to 5.48 and N is equal to root of 5. So here I'm going to calculate this -2 divided by 5.48 divided by this root 5 is 2.236. If you do not know, you just calculate using the calculator. Now what is this denominator comes around here? 2.45 it is coming. Okay, the denominator numerator is it is -2. So I'm going to calculate this value. It comes around -0.816 here. I have to take the positive value. So I'm taking the positive value. Then this I will call it as the calculated value. So this is what is written here. Tcal is 0.816. Now I have to find out the degrees of freedom in order to find out the value from the table. So degrees of freedom is n-1. My n is 5 value. Right? 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. So degrees of freedom is 1, 2, 3, 4 in this column. And it is a two-tailed test. So 0.01. I'm just finding it out here. What is the value coming here in the table? This table. The table will be given to you in any statistics books. In the last page, it will be there. You have to refer to the T table. Okay, here. So we will be getting the answer. What is the answer we are getting it here? T 0.01. It should be 0.01 because we have calculated for 1%. Okay, 1%. So therefore, it should be 0.01 at 4 degrees of freedom is equal to 4.60. This is what is given in the table value. So once we finish in the table value, we have got two things. One is T-tab and one is T-cal. We are going to compare and come to the conclusion. So now how to do it? T-calc is 0.816. T-tab is equal to 4.60. I'm going to compare this. My value is lesser. So what I do is we fail to reject. So whenever we say we fail to reject, it's nothing but accepting. So we should not say accept. We always say fail to reject the null hypothesis. So what is my null hypothesis? No difference is my null hypothesis. So I'm going to accept that. There is no difference. That's what I'm accepting it. So I'm coming to an inference that we conclude that with 99% confidence, because it is 1% level of significance. So I will always subtract. Okay, now, so now confidence that there is no change in the IQ after the training program. So I can write this as there is no difference in means of the sample A and sample B, or I can say the program is not effective, or I will say there is no change in the IQ after the training program. This is what I should say after this. Okay, thank you very much for watching this. Have a good day.